Let me ask you this question, and I think you're going into it, but how do you approach educating your audience about the challenges and reward of a career in trucking? So I call it edutainment. The way your format is, you the black Bill Nye.
That's what they
So
call it.
how do you approach educating your audience?
I think I approach it the same way you approach educating me. The same way you tell me stuff in a very simple way. It could be grand, it could be history, war, economics, all of that, but you talk to me in a way to where it's easily understood and it's entertaining. I'm like, oh man, that happened. That's the same way I approach it, because when I partner with brands, I've been blessed to partner with national brands.
Okay.
So from national truck stops to TA. I'm working out deals with other national truck stops. The biggest.
And you did a big one for Def, right?
I did one for Blue Def, which
Def.
is a diesel exhaust fluid. So these are major brands. These are corporate.
Trucker Path.
Trucker Path, which is Google Maps for truckers. Shout out to Trucker Path. That was my first partnership, and I've been able to do impactful videos for their company, and they've told me this because they give me these long sheets or all of these bullet points of complex, sometimes information. And what my strong suit is and what my approach is to educating, like you asked me, is to simplify it, to condense it to the main, bite-sized points. I don't leave no information out. I just, simplify, clean it up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Distill it. That's the word. I distill it into the absolute essential of information, and then I say it as if I'm talking to just one of my friends,
Well, I mean, an example of that, when you go to school, you go to a school for a year or semester, you say it took you 4 weeks to get a CDL, but your post is not 8 hours of, a 3-hour course. A post may be a minute or two. And could you give an example of, because I know recently you just did one on the TWIC card. So could you give an example how you can condense a lecture that will probably be an hour long into a minute?
Like my thought process of how I do it?
Yeah, I mean, that's what you do, right? I mean, if a person is going to school to get their CDL license, and then a lot of your classmates are told to check out Wazeer page.
They are. They
if you're working on your CDL.
Yeah.
Or if you need a TWIC, or if you need some
we
certification.
did the TWIC video together.
Right.
So, because I asked you, because I've been driving for 3.5 years, I didn't know how to get a TWIC. What a TWIC is a government ID basically that allows you to go to ports, refineries, and stuff like these high security places. And when you're truck drivers, sometimes you do that. I've actually picked up from ports and stuff, and I had to pay a fee because I didn't have a TWIC. I had to pay $75 for them to take me in there to the port. And I told you about it because I'm thinking about getting more into that type of landscape, going to ports. Maybe I even want to do tanker and stuff like that. And you said, well, you're going to need a TWIC. And I'm like, well, how do you get a TWIC?
Right.
And you gave me the information. Oh, you got to go on the website. We got to go to this side of town. We got to do, and it took basically 2 days.
Right.
But I can't do a 2-day video.
Right.
So I give them the bullet points where it's going to the website, signing up, setting your appointment, bringing the money, and bringing your documents.
Right.
Now, that's a simple way to say that. Now, I could meander around and, you got to do it and make it long, but social media is quick. People need this information right now, and they need it in understandable, digestible pieces. And that's my thought process. I don't want to give you any extra information. And when we're doing clips, now for the long
course,
and that's what this platform is really for the people that want more information, more in-depth, like this behind the scenes we're getting right now. That's why somebody will listen to Business Building Blocks, so they can get the nuts and bolts and the little bitty details of the thought process. But a lot of people don't need that. Some people just need me to say, do this, do that, do this, do that, and they'll go do it. Just like the 3 things I like about trucking brought a bunch of truckers into the industry because it didn't sound hard. They was like, really? I just do that. I just get, and that's really what it is. And that's not only how I approach videos, that's how I approach life.
Right.
I don't look at stuff as difficult. I look at,
you simplify it.
I look at the steps. What you always tell me about, what you say about elephants?
How do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time.
I try to assess the bites.
That's right.
And then I put them in, I prioritize what I need to do first so I can get to the next bite. And I've got a lot of things done like that over the years.
We're intimidated by the big picture. So we fail to make the first step out of fear of failure. And I think that we should not fear failure, because failure is only a step toward learning. And those who are successful are not people that have not failed. Those are people who failed and learned from their mistake. It became a learning experience. It became a part of their preparation for success. So now once you correct the mistake, you learn something from it, then you keep on with your next step, and then you become successful. So, I like that you practicing in that, or you implementing that in your life. So how do you balance the demand of trucking with content creating with your social media?
Woo, man. And see, that's what happened. When I seen that 1 million views, I was like, man, how am I going to keep this up?